Have you ever wondered why racial inequality still exists even when discrimination is illegal? The answer lies in something bigger than individual prejudice. It's called systemic racism. We made a video about systemic racism, and you guys wanted to know more? So let's break it down. Systemic racism is not about one person's actions. It is about the way policies, laws, and social structures are designed, often producing unfair disadvantages for certain racial groups. Imagine you rerunning a race, and you're not allowed to start at the same line as everyone else. You're already at a disadvantage. That's what systemic racism is like. It puts some people at a disadvantage simply because of their race. You might be thinking, I don't see any advantages given or disadvantages taken away because of someone's race. So where does this disadvantage come from? Well, let's look at housing. In many countries, minority groups were historically denied access to certain neighborhoods. Even today, property values and rental opportunities remain unequal. This means that if you're a part of a minority group, you might have fewer options when it comes to where you can live. And where you live can affect your life in many ways, like your access to good schools or safe streets. In education, schools in predominantly minority communities often receive less funding. That means they might not have the resources they need to give students the best education possible. When students don't get a good education, they might not have the skills they need to get a good job, which means they might not have enough money to buy a house or take other steps toward building a better life for themselves and their families. And it's not just about access to opportunities. Studies show that people of color often receive less effective treatment in healthcare compared to others with the same conditions. Imagine going to the doctor with a health problem. You might think that everyone would get the same care, but in reality, doctors might not take your pain as seriously if you're a person of color. That's not okay. Everyone deserves to get good healthcare, but that doesn't always happen because of systemic racism. Then there's policing. Data consistently shows minority groups are stopped, searched, or arrested at higher rates than others. Imagine being stopped by the police just because of the way you look or your race. That's what it's like to experience systemic racism in policing. It doesn't make anyone safer, and it makes minority groups feel less safe. So how does this happen? Well, these systems create a cycle where inequality is passed down from one generation to the next. That means that if your parents or grandparents experienced racism and inequality, you might experience it too. But it's not always visible, right? Sometimes you can't see the ways that systemic racism is affecting you. But its effects are real, and they're felt in wealth, opportunities, and even life expectancy. Imagine growing up knowing that no matter how hard you work, you might not have the same chances as others. That's not fair. But it's the reality for many people who are affected by systemic racism. So now you're probably asking, if it's part of the system, how do we fix it? Well, systemic problems need systemic solutions. We need to change the way our systems work so that they're fair for everyone. That means changing laws, policies, and the way our society is organized. It also means having honest conversations about race and racism and working together to create a better future. This video was made because we believe in the power of understanding. When we understand each other better, we can build a better world together. And don't worry, we're just getting started. We've got lots more videos on race and racism coming up. So, stay tuned. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content that breaks down important issues in simple terms. Thanks for watching.